So whenever I see a Justice League versus Avengers mashup, it's always highly favored in the Justice League's favor. I mean, it's like Superman, Flash, GL, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Martian Manhunter versus Thor, Hulk, Iron Man, Black Widow, Captain America, Hawkeye. Not really fair at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to create the ultimate Justice League versus Avengers mashup across 3 videos. We've already done the first one, which was the street level characters. I'll link that right there. Now it's more the mid-level characters. The next one will be the high-level characters. And with that short little overview, let's dive right on in. So in this second round, we have Booster Gold, Red Tornado, Aquaman, Adam, Metamorpho, Plastic Man, Cyborg, Blue Beetle, Big Barda, and Black Lightning for the Justice League, and Iron Man, Vision, Captain Marvel, Wasp, Namor, She-Hulk, Quicksilver, Ant-Man, Thing, and War Machine for the Avengers. They'll be fighting in an abandoned New York City in the evening time. I'll try to make the matchups fair as possible, but some of them don't really line up 1-to-1, so there might be a few mismatches in here. I'm sorry about that. But anyways, let's get started with round 1. Round 1, we have Vision versus Red Tornado. So I've already made a whole video devoted to this fight, so I really don't think I have to do too much of a breakdown. Basically, what it comes down to is Vision has the ability to turn intangible, and there's really nothing Red Tornado can do to counter that. Vision is also stronger, and a solar jewel is very useful and can be quite devastating. While Red Tornado could use his wind powers to affect most people in the Avengers, it won't work on Vision. 1, because he doesn't need to breathe, and 2, because he can turn intangible. Vision's going to take the victory. She-Hulk versus Big Barda. Now this is a really fun battle. Both of these ladies are superhumanly strong, although Barda is definitely stronger, as she stalemated Wonder Woman in a fight before. However, She-Hulk might be able to get to her strength level as the fight progresses because of her increased rage. Barda is also the better fighter, as she's a trained and experienced apocalyptic warrior. Jen shouldn't be underestimated in her fighting ability though, as she's able to utilize pressure points against opponents. Also, She-Hulk's kind of bread and butter is fighting and holding her own against stronger opponents. That's something to keep in mind. However, what seals the deal for Big Barda is her Mega Rod, which is a high-tech weapon that gives her the ability to fire powerful concussive force blast and ensures her the victory. Big Barda moves on. Ant-Man versus Adam. Now this is a really tough fight, and may be the most evenly matched fight in this round. This is also Scott Lang Ant-Man, just to be clear, mostly because Hank Pym is a terrible person, and I'm also pretty sure he's merged with Ultron last time I checked. And that is a big deal too, because while Hank Pym can probably beat Ray Palmer, Scott Lang is a whole other story. Now both of them are experts at shrinking, and can really shrink about the same, so we're not going to find the winner that way. Also, if Scott turns into Giant Man, that just gives Ray an opportunity to get inside of him and manipulate his cellular structure like he did with Superman, so that's just a losing strategy. We also did take into account that Adam has complete control over his molecular structure, and that's a lot more powerful than he's often portrayed to be. In fact, the only thing limiting him is his own application of his powers, and he can even make himself strong enough to punch through concrete. So since everything else is pretty much even, wait to look for any advantage you can get. And the fact that Ray has the ability to make himself strong enough to punch through concrete should give him the edge and victory over Scott. Adam moves on. Cyborg versus Wasp. So this one's pretty simple for me. Wasp might have been able to hold her own against pre-52 Cyborg, but he has received a massive upgrade lately, and should be able to easily take Janet down. I don't think her bioelectric shocks will really do much against Cyborg, and he has a plethora of weapons to take her down. I really wish I could have found a better matchup for Wasp, since I like her as a character, and she's a key Avenger, but I did what I could. Cyborg moves on. Quicksilver versus Plastic Man. Plastic Man can stretch his body to unknown limits, can alter his size from a few inches to a skyscraper, can shapeshift into really anything that he desires, and even open up holes in his body. He's also very durable, and can regenerate missing parts of his body. However, he really can't compete with Quicksilver in regards to speed. Pietro is able to go incredibly fast, once traveling 347 miles in 3.7 seconds, and with speed like that, it should be very difficult for Plastic Man to even be able to land a hand on him. Quicksilver is also able to land a surprisingly strong punch too, knocking out Olympians, sending Spider-Man, Luke Cage, and Magneto flying, and completely messing up the High Evolutionary. Overall, I think Quicksilver is just too fast for Plastic Man. And even though Plastic Man is very durable, that speed is going to be his downfall and ensure Quicksilver the victory. Captain Marvel versus Black Lightning. So this is a really interesting fight. It's actually fairly close too. I don't want anyone to be underselling Black Lightning either. He's able to project devastatingly powerful blasts of electricity, can absorb electrical attacks, create powerful force fields, can manipulate bioelectric energy, and just like the Hulk, the angrier he gets, the more powerful he gets. However, Carol is clearly physically superior, as she's been shown to be able to lift over 100 tons, move at much faster than the speed of sound, and is incredibly durable. She's also able to absorb mass amounts of energy, even a nuke, and can project energy blasts strong enough to blow up large alien spaceships. What I think this fight comes down to is Carol's superior strength, and especially her superior speed. She can also absorb pretty much all of Black Lightning's attacks, while he won't be able to absorb her energy projections. Overall, I think Captain Marvel outclasses him here, even though it will be a tough fight. Iron Man versus Blue Beetle. So this fight between these two armored warriors is very close, and I could see it going either way. Now obviously, Tony is the smarter and the better fighter, being a certified genius with years of experience fighting in an armored suit, while Jaime is still a relatively young kid with not much experience in the suit. However, the scarab on his back is able to provide him with tons of information and possible strategies for how to defeat opponents. He also has very powerful weapons and energy blast and can create really any weapon that he desires. But we cannot underestimate Tony's power either. He has incredibly strong repulsor blast, his suit is much stronger than Jaime's, and he has a ton of versatility as well. I mean, he has a counter for Captain Marvel, who was able to paralyze Hyperion, and was even able to counter Vision's phasing ability. Overall, even though Blue Beetle has more potential in his suit, I think that Tony's experience, intelligence, and versatility should give him the victory after a long, hard-fought battle. War Machine versus Booster Gold. So again, we've got a fight between two armored fighters, and either has the potential to win. In my opinion, Rhodey has more experience in the suit, and with that experience, I'd say he has more skill as well. War Machine is also very powerful and versatile in his own right. However, I gotta say that Booster Gold is much more durable. He's battled against freaking Doomsday before, and plus he's able to instantly form powerful force fields. Booster also has much better tech than War Machine. I mean, it's the best tech that the 25th century has to offer, so it's kind of common sense that our modern day tech isn't going to be better than that. And it's because of that tech advantage that I had to give the edge and victory to Booster Gold, despite his lower degree of skill and experience. If the tech was even, I would give the victory to War Machine every time, but it's not, and Booster Gold wins. And I know what you might be saying, I just gave Iron Man the victory over Blue Beetle, even though Blue Beetle has more power because of Iron Man's intelligence and experience. But here, War Machine lost versus Booster Gold because Booster Gold has better tech, even though War Machine has more experience. Yeah, I see that. But at the same time, Tony versus Rhodey in terms of experience and intelligence when it comes to fighting, they're not really comparable. And I do believe I got it right. You can argue with me about that, but I think I got it right. Anyways, we're moving on now. Aquaman versus Namor. So before we get started with this fight, remember that they are fighting in downtown New York City. Neither of them will have direct access to the water, and Aquaman also won't really be able to telepathically communicate with marine life. So how do I see this fight playing out? Well, both of them are essentially physical equals. You can make a compelling argument that either one is physically superior, and they're just too similar for one to claim a clear advantage. Also, I really want to dispel the idea that because Namor was able to punch Thanos and make him bleed, that he is stronger than Aquaman. The fact that Namor made Thanos bleed is so ridiculous and is out of character for both of them. So if Namor and Aquaman are basically physical equals, then how do we decide who wins? Well, here's the thing. Namor usually fights with just his bare hands, while Aquaman fights a ton with his trident. And holy crap, let's talk about his trident. Aquaman has been able to throw it hard enough under the water in order to cause a volcano to erupt, and it's been able to open up Darkseid's chest and stab out his eye. Plus, it also gives Arthur a greater ranged attack against Namor. Since their physical strength and durability and their fighting skills are roughly equivalent, we have to look for any advantage we can, and that trident is a huge advantage, and should give Aquaman the victory. Metamorpho versus the Thing. So I think an important factor in this fight is whether or not the Thing needs to breathe. Because if his rock structure doesn't force him to require oxygen, then he'll have a strong fighting chance against Metamorpho. I wasn't able to find anything to suggest that he does or doesn't need to breathe, until I remembered that the Thing joined up with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and there he's in a spacesuit. So Ben needs to breathe, which means that Metamorpho can turn into a gas and knock him out that way. Rex is also highly resistant to blunt force attacks, so he won't really be affected by the Thing's punches. At the end of the day, Metamorpho moves on. So now we move on to round 2. Let's remember that these fighters are transitioning directly from round 1 without any time to recuperate. So that means however hard their first fight was might dictate how well they do in this next fight. Also, since Justice League members have more members surviving, they're going to be doing a 2-on-1 fight because, they're not just going to sit this one out. This is their teammates and they're going to help them. That's just realistically how it will go down. There's going to be a couple 2-on-1 fights. Vision versus Cyborg. So here we've got an android versus a cyborg, and this could make for a really interesting showdown. While Cyborg has more versatility with his weapons, I don't think he has anything to counter Vision's sheer power. Vision can not only turn intangible, but he can control his density however he wants, and make himself much more stronger as well. I don't think Cyborg will have a counter for that. There's also Vision's solar jewel to keep in mind. So like I said, even though Cyborg has more versatility, he can't counter Vision's intangibility or power, and Vision takes the victory. Quicksilver versus Aquaman and Adam. Now to be honest, I don't really know how much of a factor Adam will play in this fight, because it could go one of several ways. What I mean by that is that if Adam is able to get inside Pietro's bloodstream, well then that is an easy victory. On the other hand, Quicksilver could speed blitz Adam and take Ray out of the fight before he even has a chance to shrink. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, because there's no way Quicksilver takes down Aquaman. Arthur has been able to react to Wonder Woman and Superman in combat before, and he is way too strong and durable to be taken down by Pietro. Aquaman wins this fight, although I think it's more likely than not that Adam doesn't make it out as well. Iron Man versus Booster Gold and Metamorpho. So I think Iron Man could defeat Metamorpho given enough time, since his suit is airtight, and I'm sure Tony will eventually be able to deliver a strategy to stop his transmutation. But with Booster Gold there as well, that's a whole different story. We've already established that Booster Gold has better tech, being from the future, than we do in the present day. And nothing Tony has will be able to get past his force fields. Booster Gold can also turn around and shoot the force fields around Tony, and he shouldn't be able to get out of them. Then Metamorpho could also transmute into acid and start growing Tony's suit, and is very durable to blunt force and energy attacks. So while Iron Man is clearly smarter and the better and more experienced fighter than either of them, Booster Gold and Metamorpho's sheer power should secure them the victory. Both move on. Captain Marvel versus Big Barda. Now this is another fight that I would really like to see. Captain Marvel has greater versatility on her side, with her speed, ability to fly, and energy absorption and projection, but Big Barda is stronger and a better fighter. She's been trained as an Apocalyptic warrior since birth, and even served as a member of Darkseid's bodyguard for a while. She's also stalemated against Wonder Woman. Carol's energy manipulating abilities will keep her in the fight for a while, but overall, I believe Barda's greater strength and fighting ability should secure her the victory. Now move on to round 3, which is Vision versus Aquaman, Booster Gold, Metamorpho, and Big Barda. So just like with the first video, a 4 against 1 fight isn't fair at all. Vision isn't able to last long against these 4 powerhouses, and DC should earn a very comfortable victory. So there we have it. Avengers claim one victory with their street level characters. Now the Justice League have one as well with their more mid-level characters. And only one fight left with their high-level characters like Superman, Thor, Wonder Woman, and Hulk. Who wins? Well, stay tuned to find out. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button for videos just like this one every single week.